Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to be testing out the brand new Charlotte Tilbury Queen of Luck eyeshadow quad. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. So I am so excited for this one. It has been so long since Charlotte Tilbury launched a new quad, and I thought this was coming out in January, but she kind of surprise launched it on us yesterday, and mine actually came super quickly, so I'm very grateful for that. So this is the new Queen of Luck eyeshadow quad from Charlotte Tilbury. This retails for $55 US or 70 Canadian. This does have an 18-month shelf life and is made in Italy, so standard for all of her quads. And this is what the actual quad itself looks like, and this is what the inside looks like. So very, very pretty. We have the standard 4 shades. We have one matte, a more satin shade, we have a metallic, and then we have this more baked duochrome type formula. So in my experience, her duochrome shades aren't the most duochromatic. So if you're looking for a very intense payoff, these are not the duochromes you're going to go for. But these are going to be subtle, they're going to be very pretty. Initially looking at this, I am reminded of some of her other quads, so we will be doing comparisons towards the end. But let's quickly look at some swatches, and then we will put this on the eyes, and then I will share some comparisons. So first up, we have this kind of champagne satin shade that she has in most of her quads. This is the prime shade. Next we have that duochrome type shade, and on camera I think this is coming off as a little bit more pink, but if you do shift it, it does have a little bit more of a gold, and it looks much more like this shade here. This is the metallic, and then this is the matte brown. So really pretty color story, but I'm still very much getting a flashback to another quad that she has. So I'm looking forward to comparing the two. So I think I'm just going to start with this matte brown over here, and I am going to start with this one on the outer corner. And I am going to slowly bring it into the crease, but I really want to sheer it out. This is definitely not going to be a very deep, dramatic look, and I'm okay with that. That's part of what I enjoy about Charlotte's quads, because I like a softer look for myself. Blending very easily, as most of her mattes do. It's definitely a much softer type shade. Adding a little bit more just onto the outer portion. And I think I forgot to mention, I just have concealer and a little bit of powder on my lids right now. And again, that just blended out very easily and quickly. So that looks really nice as well. Same thing on the other side. It actually got really cold here really quickly. It was kind of being a very balmy, comfortable feeling winter, and then it got cold really fast, and now my eyes have been so dry, but then they'll randomly get really watery at the corners, which makes absolutely no sense. So that situation has been driving me absolutely crazy. So I'm sorry if that does pop up and ruin my makeup. Even this brown shade on its own is just really nice. Like if you just wanted to do something really quick and be out the door, this brown shade looks really nice. It just gives the right amount of definition. Okay, I think I went in with a little bit more pigment on this side, so I just want to add a little bit over here. Not too much, just blending it out. It's definitely a very blendable matte. Definitely seems to be very on par with her other formulas. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a flat shader brush, and I'm going to pick up that duochrome shade. The only thing I don't love about her baked duochrome shade is that she'll put this really cute embossment on the product, and then the second you touch it, it's gone. So I don't love that, but it's kind of a minor factor. It's more so of a personal preference. Okay, and I'm just going to pat this on the lid. I'm not going to drag it because I don't want to get much fallout. That looks so pretty. So pretty. Okay, that's beautiful. And I love how it applied with a brush as well. I didn't feel like I had to use my fingers. That's typically my preferred method of using metallic formulas, but if I can apply it with a brush, I will definitely choose to do so. What's really making me happy about this is I've been using a dry brush, patting on this shimmer, and I have very little fallout. Okay, I think that looks so pretty. So I just used my Sigma switch to clean off the brush, and now I want to go into the pop shade And I just want to use this one more toward that inner portion to give a little extra sparkle on the inside. So we definitely get a little bit more pigment with that shade. Okay, so that just gave some brightness to the inner portion of the lid. I probably could have skipped this shade altogether and just went in with the lighter prime shade just on the inner corner, but I kind of wanted to see how these two would work together. And that added just like a really nice sparkle to the inner portion of the lid. And again, I really didn't get any followed, so I'm very happy with that. I want to see if I take that duochrome shade on a finger, kind of what happens. Yeah, it really doesn't make a difference if you use a finger. So I love that I can easily use a brush with this and I don't have to go with my fingers at all. I'm gonna grab that prime shade right here, and this is going to be my inner corner shade, just over here, just to brighten things. I mean, I feel like we've already got a pretty light ethereal look going on, but this will really just add that brightness. And that's so pretty. I'm gonna pop on some mascara and then I'll be right back and we will look at some comparisons. All right, so here is the final look, and I have to be honest, I love this look. This is definitely making me feel very pulled together, very pretty, not too much. I just love this look. Okay, so let's look at some comparisons. I am just going to be comparing this quad to some of her other quads. So we have the Queen of Luck right here, and the palette that instantly came to mind was the Celestial Pearl quad from 2 holidays ago. So side by side, they look very, very similar. They both have that one baked shade as well. And I'll show you the swatches. So this is the new Queen of Luck quad, and then over here we have Celestial Pearl. So the difference is that Celestial Pearl has a little bit more of a pink to it with this shade as opposed to this one. But the matte shade in Celestial Pearl is also actually a satin, so there's a sparkle to it as well. But otherwise, they are very, very similar. So Celestial Pearl has a little bit more of a sparkle to it than Queen of Luck. However, the looks end up being pretty similar. They aren't identical, but they are very, very similar. So I would say if you wanted Celestial Pearl and maybe you missed out on it, Queen of Luck might be a really great splurge for you. I love this look. I think it's so pretty. So this one might be a good alternative if you missed out on this one. If you already have this one, I really don't think you need Queen of Luck, because even while you can see them looking a little differently in swatches on the eyes, they're going to look very, very similar. So I would say if you have one, you don't need the other. I think Celestial Pearl has been discontinued, so I don't think you can get it anymore. I did read that Queen of Luck is also limited edition, but that being said, this one, the Celestial Pearl, was a bit more sparkly, but if you missed out on it, then you might really enjoy Queen of Luck. But if you already have this one, you don't need this new one. There was no comparison between the Cosmic Pearl quad, which was not my favorite anyway. This is probably my least favorite quad she's ever done, but there was no comparisons here except for maybe the browns. I also pulled Pillow Talk Dreams, looking at them side by side. Pillow Talk Dreams, a little bit more pink. This one's a little bit more gold. The original Pillow Talk palette, again, a little more pinky. I think they could be really pretty when used together, but not a lot of similarities here. I also have the Walk of No Shame, and no similarities. This one definitely gives you a lot more depth than the Queen of Luck will. You're really not going to get a lot of depth with this palette. You're going to get light, you're going to get ethereal, and if you love that type of look, this one's definitely for you. I also have the Palette of Pops, but this one is also all shimmer, and it definitely sticks to more of those browns. And the last quad I have is the Flawless Eye Filter in Star Aura. So this one is made up entirely of that baked formula, but at the same time, none of these are duochromes. So there wasn't much similarity there. So her quads really do seem to be all in the same sort of spectrum, but with varying shades and tones. So I think the only quad that really stood up to this one is Celestial Pearl. So if you have that one, I would skip this, but If you don't have that one, maybe you missed out on it, or if you just don't have it and you thought it was pretty, I would absolutely recommend this. I think it's beautiful. Do I think it's worth $55 or $70? No, I don't. But Charlotte Tilbury is a luxury brand. They are known for being very expensive. So if you take out the price factor, I love this. I think it's beautiful. I think if you love Charlotte Tilbury's quads, this is great. I think it's so pretty. Again, I'm really loving this look. I'm not sure how this is going to fare on deeper skin tones, but if you are on the more fair side like me, I love it personally. I just think it's so pretty, so easy to work with. You really don't get much depth out of this matte, but for me, that's not really a big concern, especially when I'm going for this more lighter ethereal type look. For me, that matte is to just add a little bit of definition. Otherwise, I think this is absolutely stunning. I am so glad I have it. I was so surprised to see this. I unfortunately have already filmed my year-end palette ranking, so this will not be included. This will end up being in next year's. You will see that video next, but I absolutely love this. I think it's so beautiful. Let me know down below if you purchased this one. Are you thinking of picking it up? Let me know. I love hearing from you guys so much. And if you're new here, I do tend to review all of Charlotte Tilbury's releases. So if you love Charlotte Tilbury content, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. But otherwise, that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!